I always tell women, why are we waiting for men to give you freedom? The women are the ones, actually in most of the communities, who take the initiative. They may look weak, but they don't give up.
Their strength, their capabilities are not brought out unless they are strong enough to break out.
Why they raise their hands is because urban women wouldn't have raised their hands. We have more masks than rural women. Rural women are stronger. UNICEF came and built the toilets. But in the toilets, there was no water. So what is the point in building toilets when you're not giving water supply?
How will storytelling bring about this change?
Kora country in Thai in Odaya in Kail Kole, and so the story will go like this. So it's difficult, it cannot happen overnight. Stories itself are exaggeration because facts are very boring. Kattradu kaiyalavu, they say, no, what you have learnt is only this.
Should we start a process of communication through this? How do we do this?
To be a good storyteller, you need to be first a good story listener.
Hello everyone, and it's really my pleasure to have today a master storyteller, Geeta Ramanujam, amazing person who has for 40 years experience in storytelling, internationally recognized as an institute called Kathalaya International Institute. And it is amazing that a person, Geeta Ramanujam, what she has really contributed to the society in terms of not just India, globally, and how an impact of storytelling could be. So today we'll hear from her what does storytelling mean and how we can bring, hopefully goodness in our individuals. Today we are in a troubled world, lot of issues we face, not only in the global sense, but also at an individual level. Sometimes we wonder who we are, what we are. And when we look at the global census, there is a lot of issues facing. For example, even in a city like Bangalore, when other day I was talking to the police commissioner, he said, doctor, it is not smoking or pollution. Drug is the main cause, and drugs in youths, youngsters. So like this, there are a lot of issues. If you look at America, the suicide rates are very high. And then you look at the geopolitical situation, there is war here, there, everywhere we see turmoil. But the media also plays a role, because maybe turmoils were there before, but today with the 24/7 media, we hear this every time, which is also, in a way scary, what kind of a world we are in. But we need to bring some sanity to this. And I believe in my own growth story, storytelling makes a huge difference and it brings positivity in us. So with this, Geeta, we would like to really know a little bit about how you really got into storytelling and how really you see the future of storytelling, your own journey. Then we can talk about some of the things about the impact of storytelling on the society, on the urban-rural divide, how we can bridge that gap, what are the ways, and goodness, truth, honesty, we can talk. Please.
Thank you, sir. Such a pleasure to be here. I can't believe I'm actually sitting opposite you. You've achieved so much, and I think you're one of the best storytellers, I should say, because without communication, this wouldn't have been possible. So storytelling is a very English word. I suddenly remembered when you were saying goodness, happiness.
Yes.
So that was a movie called Bangarada Manashya.
Yes.
So in that I was very taken up by the word Bangaru, because Bangar is gold. Correct. And it's also the golden heart. So how does a person have a golden heart was my question. I used to listen to a lot of stories from my parents. And very often my father used to mention the angel with a golden heart, or a person with a golden heart anta. So I used to wonder, is it real gold or what kind of gold is it? So I think a lot of seeds are planted in you, in your DNA also.
At what age it starts, this kind of seed planting?
I think from the womb itself.
Womb itself.
Yes. I also believe in Punarjanma. I also think that we are carrying the genes from our ancestors. And that is why Punya Badbeko, that is, we have to do good. Why they say it's not only for the present generation, but it is going to leave a legacy for the upcoming generations, isn't it? That is what.
No, the interesting you said from the womb itself, because in Mahabharata story, Abhimanyu learns from Krishna in the womb itself.
Yes.
And so it's a very interesting.
Even one favorite story of mine is the Narsimha story, where all are Asuras, especially Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. How come his wife got permission, which is itself, I would say it is written script tara. So it is how only during pregnancy of Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu had the heart to say, okay, go to the Himalayas.
Yes.
Because Narada had wanted her to come away, because in that womb itself he knew that this child is going to be different. So all have to come together. And so when Hiranyakashipu said, okay, you can take a break, after the 6 children, she goes to the Himalayas. And every day Narada comes and tells stories. And they say the child in the womb was only doing kottarde we say. That is just doing that is listening. So that listening, first faculty that Prahlad actually developed inside the womb itself.
Coming to your story, when you were growing up,
yes,
this listening to stories from your father,
yes,
what made you interested in this?
My mother, both.
My mother also.
Also environment. That's why I wanted to say.
Okay.
My mother was reading the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So when I was born, they had 3 names. So since she was reading Bhagavad Gita, she named me Geeta. My father was a great friend. He was very interested in literature. And one of his best friends was Vijayalakshmi Pandit, Nehruji's sister.
Yes.
So they used to exchange letters in English. And the day I was born was the day when the UNO was formed. And the first president was Vijayalakshmi Pandit. So he named me Vijayalakshmi.
Oh.
So the second name he gave me was, I have to be victorious, Vijayalakshmi anta undu. Then of course we have 3 names. The third name was according to the star.
Yes.
So Padmavati Tayar, which is Tirupati's wife, so they named me Padmavati. Now Padmavati is long, Vijayalakshmi is long, Geeta is the best.
Made it
So they said, let's call it short and sweet. So as I said, I think the good thought of both the parents also go into the genes, and that is how I think.
Now, when you fast forward, today you had you had parents.
Yes.
For me also, my mother was a big storyteller for Ramayana, Mahabharata. The most important thing for us when she told a story was the character.
True.
Whether really Karna lived or not, we don't know. But the character was amazing. Dharmaraya, truth character. So like that, when you look at your own upbringing, the pleasure of stories, today it is lacking.
Yes.
We go to Google, ChatGPT and try to get stories. Parents really don't spend the time with children to tell stories. Or children don't want to spend time. They are busy scrolling. So how do we bring back this? How have you succeeded in bringing back stories? And have you really succeeded on a mass scale?
I think from the time I was a teacher, I started as a teacher in a school. At that time there was no technology, not much. It was there, but not much. And when I grew up, of course, absolutely no technology. So I was fed with books, with stories and discourses. People used to take me to Chimyananda. Harikathas.
Listen to
So
them.
this Harikathas, when you're a child, you're just playing. And you don't, so all the older people will be sitting and we will have loudspeakers and then we will be like playing. But what falls in your ears so I used to come back and imitate these people. So I will sit just like Swami Chimyananda. I will put one orange thing around me and all the others will sit around and I will say ego and egocentric desires, just like Chimyananda. So imitating was there from childhood, and of course you emote your parents also, no? Then naturally, so this environment, there was communication. I was born and brought up in Bombay. Busy life, busy city.
Correct.
Mummy is busy, Appa is busy. But they found time to communicate. I think that communication is actually transpiring something in home which is beautiful, which is not absent today.
I think we should talk about this communication because today, I think because of assumed time factor, technology, fake news, assuming and not giving an opportunity for others to talk, assuming what you're taking, and art of listening is lacking. I think one of the ways is storytelling really makes you into art of listening. How do we, whether it is schools, colleges, anywhere, how do we bring about better communication, understanding? You think storytelling could be one way of bringing it?
Absolutely. One of the ways is also the person, the personality,
Yes.
the tone in which you are addressing people.
Yes.
What is happening is today, if you see anywhere, people talk very fast. Okay. And they give you your body language and your eye contact is not
And
there.
the other thing,
Says,
Geeta,
yeah, come on, quickly. Yeah, tell me what's the name. You go to a meeting also. Nobody sits and asks you, what can you? Yeah.
No, like you have a round table like this, you're discussing. You are absolutely right. When you start saying something, the other person already has an answer even before you say. They've already made up what to say.
Yes.
They don't even listen.
No.
So how will storytelling bring about this change?
So it's difficult. It cannot happen overnight.
Yeah.
But you have to start feeding. They call feeding into the computer. So when you start feeding, and you don't have an ego also. You shouldn't have an ego when you're talking. What, that person is not even looking at me. But I have to convey this message.
Yeah.
If I have an ego also, I cannot communicate. So one of us have to sacrifice rather, or say, drive home the point. At least 2 words would have gone into that person's head. But you have to keep doing that continuously, especially when it is children.
In your lifetime, what are the typical most powerful stories you have conveyed and had a message? Can you give us some examples?
Most of it has happened in silence. Let me be very honest.
Okay.
When you have not planned it. So planned things don't work.
You are absolutely right.
So when you plan too much also, that is another reason why people don't listen. Because we are fed with information and the information is blocking your head.
Correct.
So when the other person is talking, any associated word, immediately they will start thinking something. Okay. So I call this half listening only. Okay. Especially among Indians, I feel it is very predominant. We only half listen or selectively listen. We don't listen completely.
That's a very good point. Yes.
Yeah. So I remember one when I went to from my childhood. If you see, my mother, she would always talk only at the time, because she was busy. Only when I used to come to help her in the kitchen, which was my duty. 2 things. This I remember very well because again it's a childhood impression. So she will say, listen. And then she will, when you're grinding the chutney, some chutney I had to grind every day. Economical also. So she will make chapatis or rice or something. And then the grinding will happen. She'll say, when you come to the middle, go slow. Like that, 3 instructions she will go. Then she will add something. She will say, and the E madri marandu pohade. That is, don't be like the housefly who forgot the name. Now, what will a child of 7 or 8 be interested?
Correct.
So, first thought that time was, why did that housefly forget his name? Okay, you forget all the instructions, correct? But if I ask my mother at that time, she's a busy mother. That time only one answer, one padal, like, no rights, human rights, child rights, only one right. Okay, so I will go to school thinking about this. When I come back in the evening, then she will tell me that story. So that story became very interested because first time as a child, you are getting out of curiosity. Now she's already triggered the curiosity. So I'm getting the answer for it. Now I'm ready to listen. So she would tell that Kora Kora Kandre, Kandrin Taye, Tayin Vadaya, Vadayan Kail Kole, and so the story will go like this. But that whole thing I remember now because of the impact, because she satisfied the curiosity of the child, and there was a connection, there was a bonding between my mother and me. So she is busy, she doesn't say I don't have time, but she has time to tell me the story. So same way with my father, the night he used to come back, however late it was, he will enact a story. He will talk to me about historical characters. So he used to converse in English, and she used to converse in Tamil.
Wow.
So the best way to learn a language, I say, is when you listen to it. As I said, the advantage was we didn't have anything to, all this was not there. So that listening capacity was there in the child and in the adult. No other mediums came into.
Are most of your stories woven around mythological characters or historical or fiction?
It is also anecdotes.
Your own.
Yeah, like I meet strangers for my International Academy storytelling. Correct. All of them are strangers, no? How do you make that connect?
Yes.
It will just happen. That's why I said it depends on the energy of the space. Also that.
So you decide at that point what story.
Exactly.
So you don't no pre-prepared.
No pre-prepared.
Fantastic, yeah.
No pre-planned at all. So that creativity is because there is some space here.
Yes.
If this was full, I wouldn't have had.
So you also make up stories.
I also create stories.
Create your own story.
Lot of stories. But that happens again in silence. For instance, you said one of the stories. After a long time of training, 2006, I was in Rishikesh, and I was near the Ganges. I had a workshop. I had a workshop on one left side for a room to read people who were all over the globe. 27 delegates had come, and I had to train them. 3 days training.
Training storytelling.
Training storytelling.
Oh, okay.
Training people who are dealing with the book reading and us. So they were mixed group. They found a place only in Rishikesh. So here I am training them. On the other side was Swami Dayanand Saraswati, another hall. There he is doing Bhagavad Gita. He is having his discourses. Now there is a common kitchen. So when I came to that common kitchen, there was a yogi. He was serving food for everyone. He suddenly looked at me and he said, "Why are you here?" Then I said, "I am here because I am training." Then he said, "Your room is not too far. I will take you to Swami Dayanand this evening. Come." So he took me, he introduced Swami Dayanand Saraswati. That day was the last day of this Bhagavad Gita. He said, "You come and tell a story." I said, I said, "What? How? I mean, I am not good with Sanskrit. I have no idea of Bhagavad Gita, and I am just doing training." No, we don't want too much knowledgeable people, he said. "Please come and tell a simple story." So you won't believe, in front of the gathering, I told the story of a crow, the thirsty crow story. That crow, I said that he was thirsty in Bangalore, and everyone was teasing that crow, saying that, you're black in dirty and horrible. And the crow was had a complex. Said, "Oh my God, I'm dark and black and I'm no good." But then this pamphlet comes. That is, Swami Dayanand is giving lectures in Rishikesh.
Okay.
So the crow decides to go to Rishikesh. So every day he comes, sits by the windowsill and listens to Dayanandji's lectures. Now he feels very invigorated and he's happy, especially because he says Krishna himself was dark, representing the consciousness.
Correct.
After that, the crow goes ka, 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 dips into the Ganges, drinks that water, and comes back, thanks Dayanand Saraswati from the windowsill, and goes back confidently and happily back. So this is the story I told in front of them. Now this is a thirsty crow story, but I had to adapt it. And he said, he told the crowd, this is why I wanted her to tell the story today. Because someone else would have talked about the summation of Bhagavad Gita and how good I was. She just told the story. So like this, one is that, you build a confidence, you think. And that Swamiji who introduced me and who saw me, he suddenly said, you come in August. This was in March. He said, come in August and I will have everything planned for you. I will take you for Chardham. I said, but I don't want to do all this. How do you know I'm coming in August?
Yeah.
He said, you will come. He said, you will come. Yeah. And so it happened. Because Azim Premji asked me for Uttarkashi workshop. Same August, as he predicted. So I don't know this man. Throughout the journey, he took me to Gomukh, Kedar, Badri, everywhere. Throughout the journey, he asked me only one question. He said, I know you are Geeta Ramanujam, you are a storyteller, but you didn't ask me who I am. I said, correct. See, I should have asked you. Then he said, I was with Periva, that is Shankaracharya, for 44 years. So I have come to take the Ganges water. So I will, that's why it is his message. I want to take you. So when he was taking me to the Chardham, all the stories he told me, and I became the listener. So he told me stories of Bhagavatam. He told me the stories of Shankaracharya. He told me stories from mythology. He told me Panchadashi, all mythological stories. Plus stories of what happened when, and he took me to a place where I saw in one ice cave, one nude sadhu meditating. And I was thinking how they are able to be without clothes and meditate inside this kind of. Yeah. Then he said, some things are not explained, some things are not said, some things have to be just observed. So these stories have created an impact. Now there was nothing for me to collect from here. There was nothing which was planned. But things happened, and here is where I understood golden heart andre ಏನು ಅಂತ.
Correct. No, your points are very good. Now coming to the impact factor. Ivaga now we listen to Mahabharata. In all our learnings, people say Mahabharata is nothing but a version of Vedas you learn through story form. In that case, in today's age, how do we take it forward to take characters of Mahabharata in schools, colleges, all ages, even the rural women? Ivaga, what is truth? Is there something like truth? For example, in Hinduism, we know there is nothing like truth. 9 blind people feeling an elephant, all are right. Alva?
Correct.
In that case, how do we bring about what is justice, what is injustice? Whenever we talk, people talk about Krishna. Did he really deceive people? Was entire Mahabharata, if you really look at it, people, this is the debate one should have. Like Duryodhana, actually the crown belongs to Duryodhana.
Correct.
His father is the first son.
Correct.
Dhritarashtra. So in that case, what are the rights of Pandavas? Do they have any rights in reality? how in the story form, how do we dissect it and convey what is right and what is not right? What is dharma, what is adharma? See, dharma issue itself has been debated.
Correct.
And dharma is there, and what is conscious, what is not. And is there really God or no? For example, there was one cartoon I saw where the devotee is praying the God. The God appears and he starts praying the devotee. The devotee says, why? You created me, that I have to pray you. So in these kind of debates, what is the story? How do we kind of move the story around? What do you think?
See, one thing we are very blessed is, if you see, especially Mahabharata, the way it was written itself is subject to interpretations.
Yes.
So we have had many versions of Mahabharata.
Tribal
Ide. M.T. Vasudevan Nair has written Bhima from the tribal perspective.
Correct.
S.L. Bhairappa has written.
Correct.
Then Yajnaseni, if you see, it is from Draupadi's point of view.
Correct.
Then if you see Yuganta, again Airavati Karve has done from Draupadi's point.
Correct.
Now she says in that there is no such thing as sacrifice at all. We say Bhishma sacrificed.
Yes.
So the interpretations are there, and that what is beautiful is unlike I'm not criticizing, unlike Christianity, like Christ who was nailed on the cross and then resurrection, there is no room for interpretation.
Yes.
Whereas Mahabharata characters, if you see, the way it was written itself has given so many room for interpretation. So here the dharma or the truth. So what is truth? So truth itself is subject.
Correct.
Okay, and the truth is something which is adaptable. For instance, we are sitting in this room, we are not moving. This is apparent truth, correct?
Correct.
If you ask anyone, are you moving? They will definitely say no. But absolute truth is, we are moving.
Yes.
So, truth itself is debatable. So, stories are an exaggeration of what is. Stories itself are exaggeration because facts are very boring. So when it comes like a story like the Mahabharata, it attracts the readers. And so we can adapt these stories to suit any age.
Other stories, when you look at it, were all so-called, even Mahabharata and all. Is it pure so-called Aryan creation? They show Arya, the Devatas as white, strong people.
Yes.
Asuras as Dravidians, short, dark people. We South Indians are all like that. Well, no. And Asuras are always, supposed to be, that issue where they do the Samudra Madana.
Yes.
And they give that this thing to drink. Amrita. And Asuras are cheated. Is it okay? So how do people accept? For example, today in Tamil Nadu, maybe they are not accepting. They have other beliefs of all this. Suppose independent.
Yes.
So how do we bring up a generation understanding? The beauty of our Hinduism is truly that, like you said, there is no one truth. Whereas, best of our knowledge, Christianity says there is only one truth. Even Islam says one truth. So we have the luxury of really saying. But I think, is it being effectively used to bring about a culture where we accept others, where we do? Today, it is becoming difficult. We talk about Hindutva, we talk about this, we talk about Rama, we talk about this thing. The character of Rama. If somebody says Rama was only a character, we don't know, believe people throw stones at them. So is it something? How do we take this form to create a powerful element so that Satya Harishchandra, for example, such a phenomenal character. A lot of people don't know his own story.
True.
What is truth? How he stood for truth. Word. What does the word mean? When you give a word, what does that mean? So how can story across India, not just affluent class and all, I'm talking about taking to the rural areas, villages. Should we start a process of communication through this? How do we do this?
So I usually feel that as a facilitator, suppose I am a facilitator, and humility is the first part. If I start with, I am better than you, I know, that itself is a threatening factor. So why don't we give the benefit of doubt to the women and say, you know already so many things. We are going to put it in a package to just let you know how you can communicate what you have, correct? So one is, I think listening to the other is the first step. To be a good storyteller, you need to be first a good story listener. So you don't start with, I know and I am going to tell you and you take it. So this will be my first step. The second step is that everything is debatable. There is no said truths. There are no said conclusions, because we are in an era which is Kali Yuga.
Correct.
And we are in some leg of the Kali Yuga, correct? We are born in this Kali Yuga and you are the world. We are not here to change the world. So you be the change that you want the world to see, correct? So if we are the change itself, the aura around us is going to be positive. So it's not only what you're speaking, but what you are that is also going to impact. So the main problem of impacting is I have to be inspiring, correct? If they are inspired only, they will receive. So from inspiring them to impacting them is what I would look at. So when my inside is also open to learning, because learning is a continuous process. You cannot say I'll start learning today morning and end.
You can't say I'm an expert.
I'm an expert. No, that is not there at all. Because
That's
it's an ocean.
Message.
It's an ocean. Yeah. Kattradu kaiyalavu, they say, no, what you have learnt is only this. So we are not here to solve the world problems. We are not here to solve many things. We are here to see if we can make an impact in the little circle that we have created, and some people have taken what you have in your lifetime is all that I'm looking for. So no long-term future, because we don't even know how long. Everything is anitya. And what you have left behind also, we don't know whether it will continue. Yes?
Correct.
So in that moment, the present moment, if you are able to give, if you are able to live, and if you are able to transact. So if you educate, you empower with entertainment, which is storytelling. So if you have all these 3 E's that they say, maybe you can create that impact. Whether they are going to carry it forward or not, we don't know. But you are sowing the seeds. So I would say this will be a good way to solve, I won't even say solve, to create a little path. Yeah, to create inroads is what you say. So I would even say we need to revive. We are rediscovering.
Do you think this storytelling, this fictional mythological stories in India, Indian system, has really brought about dominance of men over women? Because today, we see this great disparity.
Correct.
Even women don't want to have girl children.
Right.
It may be changing, but
yes.
And women are made to think they are inferior.
True.
Even though mythologically we say Shakti, Shiva, Shakti, we say Taiye Devaru, we say, Matrubhumi, Matrudevo Baha, Pitrudevo, but somehow it has been twisted for men to be an upper hand. And I find this even in the movements we are doing, with women movement and all. What has really gone wrong in the system where women are made to take a role which is lower down, and women only prefer men, and women only vote for men also. also. And what is the reason, psychology behind it? How do we change this to make women really what they are? Because in reality, if you think of it, women are much stronger than men. If you give equal opportunity to run a marathon also, one believes women will outrun men. But we have not given equal opportunity. Even today, there is not equal representation in the parliament. And if you look at, politically, they are minority. They have not given importance. They are made to believe, Sumneru, you stay where you are. What is the psychology of this?
I think it's in nature itself. If you see, in nature, of course, there's no gender. But there are mountains that have stood the test of time, rivers that have flowed. So river is always compared to women, and usually mountains are represented by men. If you see, one has nature of flowing all the time and taking. The taking is there in the river. Mountains don't take so much, right? So
rivers
nature,
are all women.
Women. That's what they say. If you see all the
Ganga river,
Ganga, Kaveri, if you see all the names are women.
Yeah.
They take. Even if you have, they say dip in the Ganges, is to wash away your sins. Why? Because the river is taking it.
Yes.
She's so patient.
It hasn't been conveniently used to get dominance.
It probably was used because it's in nature. It's also in nature, the Mother Earth, they say. But at the same time, man has always been manipulative. Now I'm talking, see, nature, it is there, but man is always been a manipulator, especially men, men. Yes. They have always manipulated and strategized, including Krishna.
Yes.
So they are all strategists. So they know how to use this and exploit. Okay, so now woman. There has also been instances when woman as Shakti has risen. If you see Shiva and Shakti, it's very different equation than Vishnu and Lakshmi. Ardhanarishwara is there.
Yes.
So Shakti is always there. So
whereas Lakshmi is not felt like that.
So am I carrying the DNA of Shakti, or I'm carrying the DNA of Lakshmi is what I have to decide. Nowadays I feel women, I always tell women, why are we waiting for men to give you freedom?
Yes.
Women should take freedom.
For us to extract
you take, because we have the right.
But in our, before I say that, by the way, when you look at men, women have XX chromosome, men have XY. We also have part woman in us.
Yes.
But we don't want to recognize that is another issue. But when you look at our rural women, in fact, other day for about 3,000 women we were addressing, I asked them to raise hand, how many were battered? Majority are battered women.
Yes.
They go through, they know husband. See, this is another issue. They are considered weaker sex, you are that thing. This is another issue. That is why maybe they don't take that, because economically they are not strong.
Yeah.
See, is it one way to make them economically strong? Is that an answer, you think?
I will give you one example. I was given a project to work with the Santali tribals in Orissa and Bihar.
Okay.
So Orissa, for 14 hours inside, there are two forests called Kionjar and Karanjia. I went and lived with them for 3 months.
Okay.
I slept along with the women. Most of the women were child marriages. They were farmer women.
Okay.
They had to travel for 8 kilometers to get water.
Okay.
They were the breadwinners. Okay. They had to fend for the children. But you won't believe, I was there because it was their request. What was the request? We don't want our children to be loose. We want them to have education.
Yes.
So this Plan International, there is an organization, they approached me. You please go and set up learning centers for them based on stories. And give these women training. Okay. Now these women were prepared, ready. They had given up on their men because most of them used to drink. So now, but the women were strong still. See, they insisted that we will cooperate, we let her come. So every day I sat with them, I listened to all their stories. I collected the stories from around the environment. We translated, we did all that, and I gave them a training. They were so strong, they were so happy. We actually set up 220 learning centers for them. It is now successfully going on because they got further funds from Australian Aid to continue that. Why I'm trying to say is, they may look weak, but they don't give up. The women are the ones actually in most of the communities who take the initiative. So they might look that they are, why they raise their hands is because urban women wouldn't have raised their hands.
Correct.
We have more masks than rural women. Rural women are stronger.
No, definitely they are stronger. But, the issue is through storytelling
Yes,
and others.
yes.
Can we create stories as women leaders,
Yes.
women entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
how women come out of this and, and how they can become strong. And I think we have Akka Mahadevi, we
Yes,
have
yes.
Kittur Rani, Jhansi, we have
All
very
these.
limited number.
Yeah.
In India, politically, Indira Gandhi, all of these are there, but very limited. Considering the population, 50%
True.
plus are women, certainly we don't have equal representation.
No.
And today, one of the amazing thing, Geeta, I want to say is, we run a school, about 500 children. The top students, they're all rural, in a remote rural area, because the Patel had asked me to start a school. I started. All are girls. Girls are, in the recent SSLC
toppers.
exam, they're all tops. All girls are tops. They are such brilliance, but what happens? They get married.
Yeah.
Then they're told you have children. Then their strength, their capabilities are not brought out unless they are strong enough to break out and say, hey, I don't care. I am going to be working woman. I'm going to do this. I can still marry and do all that. But even though the numbers may be increasing, particularly in rural areas, we don't see that. India is major rural. So how can stories, you think, can it make an impact?
Yeah, because I think you need to train. You need to
Master
train, you need
storytellers.
to educate them. But casually, I mean, not deliberately. So that when you exchange stories, including main stories, I will tell you, is a personal anecdotes. You'll get family stories.
Yes.
You'll get community stories. For instance, in Haveri, there was a child, as you said, 7th standard. Only till 7th standard, there is school.
Yes.
She was a first distinction. Now she has to take a bus and travel to Dharwad to go, or somewhere to do 8th. But the parents were not ready to send her because there was no bus. They don't want to send her by bus. Hudikina kalsala obble henge hogtale. This
Whereas
is
the
a
boy
problem.
would have gone.
So there the problem was also there was no communication, there was no transport. So everything has to come together. What I'm saying is that UNICEF came and built toilets. But in the toilets, there was no water. So what is the point in building toilets when you're not giving water supply? This is a problem with our country also. What we do is we do something without doing a background check. How do we go step by step? That research orientation is not there in us. Simply going in and...
because there are a lot of organizations for women now. But I feel, generally speaking, the impact factor in particularly rural has been minimal.
Yeah, true.
I feel we have started a microcredit, we are doing empowered. So I see huge difference when economically they are empowered.
Yes.
So do you believe economics plays an important role?
Also, I would say, also, like there are a lot of women who take initiatives now for like the milk business, all that. That is also happening.
And women, the problem is when a woman becomes prominent, the other women themselves don't like it. Whereas a man becomes prominent, they say fine.
No, again, it's
there
conditioning.
Is this inter-woman issue also.
It's a conditioning.
It's a condition.
Yeah.
How do we
Overcome that only through, like, I think now because of the television which has gone into the rural areas, a lot of empowerment is happening. So our media also plays a strong role, electrifying the villages. All that will play, transportation. So all this, when a woman starts traveling, when a woman
I think
starts,
recently one of the good things they have done is free transportation for
exactly,
women.
exactly.
I think that makes a big difference.
Yes,
They can just take
yes.
a bus and go
Exactly.
without worrying about money.
Absolutely.
These are very important things.
Yeah.
I've been finding out in our own Gundalpet area. It has made a big change. Now coming to another topic. We today talk about mental health, psychology. I'm in the
Yes.
cancer field.
Yes.
We talk about psycho-oncology and all that. Do you think storytelling is an important part of psychology when we see either a patient or somebody who is mentally disturbed or anything? Can storytelling also be used as a counseling?
So storytelling, when you say stories itself,
Yeah.
stories, base of the stories, what I say is the key elements
Yes.
of a story itself is compassion, empathy, understanding. All this comes when you tell a story.
Correct.
Because through the characters, most of the stories, if you look, are stories that create feelings in people. And that feeling is what we are conveying when we tell a story. So stories can be used everywhere. It is a need. In fact, I think it's very urgent that we communicate first, and that communication, if it is told through an anecdote or a story, then it immediately creates a listening with interest. So that when the person has started listening, you are impacting. The energy is being transmitted from the person who is telling to the person who is listening.
Correct.
So here most important is, I am obsessed as a patient with, I have got cancer or I am affected. Now it's not, suppressing something is not going to help. We say you sit in meditation, everything will be all right. No,
it won't.
So when you suppress them, it becomes difficult. Suppose you just converse with them and you're telling a small story of how a boy, went against a dam and he, prevented that whole village from flooding. He became the person who prevented that water from thing. Or a little bird which came and a huge mountain was there. But this little bird felt such a huge mountain and he's so lonely. Let me go and tell him a story. And one little bird never thought, I am small,
Correct.
I am little, okay. And she just wanted to tell a story, finished. So she tells a story, the mountain feels moved. The mountain says, will you come back next year? You understand? Okay. So the patients, for them, their disease, they're themselves, they are obsessed. But one little bird, one little story can change. It all depends that one impact. It's like a healing. It's that when the deer musk, the deer doesn't know that it has that little drop. So even if you're making that drop of a change, that story can have that, like impact. A ripple, that impact can happen. Like there are many stories. One is about Buddha, who went out and he started going everywhere. He didn't know what he wanted, but when he saw the three things, death, sickness,
correct,
something moved inside him. It forced him to get out. Till then he was protected. He was a prince.
Correct.
But now he just moves out. Now, that force doesn't stop him. He leaves his wife, everything, and just goes into that. Now he doesn't know what he's seeking. Yeah. The craving is there, but he's not able to find out what. So he's ready to risk, but he's traveling. So he goes to the market. Then actually he gives up hope. He says, I don't know what I'm looking for. Correct. He comes and sits under a tree. And he's full of thoughts. He says, what is this? I don't know where I've come, what I'm doing. Then he hears a sound. Then he looks and there's a little squirrel. And that squirrel is dipping its tail in the lake. There is a lake there.
Yeah.
Dipping the lake and coming and, doing that. And that splash of water. So Buddha, after a while, he calls a squirrel. He says, what are you doing? And the squirrel says, don't waste my time. I'm not like you. I have to empty this whole lake. Imagine that every time he's just dipping his tail, and that gives him hope. He says, I was looking for answers from human beings. Now I got an answer from a little squirrel. So he gets up, and they say he goes and finds his peepal tree, and he became the Buddha.
Yes.
So these are stories. Again, these are stories, but metaphors. So one little story, you never know from where that story is going to come. I'm sure in your medicine you have that, no? That some mountain, some herb, it becomes a pill and it becomes the source of curing for your patient. Correct?
Correct.
So which mountain, we don't know. From where this herb has come, we don't know. But somewhere in that whole universe, there is something that comes to cure you. Like that stories are.
No, you are absolutely right. This story of Buddha are all, in my view, are very powerful.
Yes.
But one question I have. The real, like for my patients also, I tell anecdote about my own other patients who have done well, real stories. Which do you think makes an impact? A fictional story, real life story, combination of the two, or is there any answer to this?
It's like what we are having conversation now.
Yeah.
It was not planned, right?
Yes.
So when the conversation flows, we don't know what is coming out of what.
Yes.
Some are personal, some are stories.
Correct.
Same way. So we don't know. I think every newness, anything that is cliched, anything that is too planned, I feel, has never worked.
Never worked.
Yeah. And what will work for one patient may not work for another patient. So you will have to, so I say, do we have the capacity to listen to the listeners?
Yeah.
Do we have the capacity to listen to the heart of that patient itself?
Now, one of the things, Geeta, is I have been looking at the human behavior. What I find, whether it is rural women, whether it is doctors, in India lacks a lot of research, or just people looking at issues and not taking up. I have coined the word, sometimes I feel we are trained not to think. That please don't think, do as told. Even in a classroom, a child starts asking questions, says this, what teacher you did is wrong, the teacher will not keep quiet. I say, what do you know? Keep quiet. So we put down. A girl who wants to go to school, put down, you can go to school only after you cook and do all that, whereas a boy can go. So this kind of train, don't think independently, don't question independently. I always give I might have said before, one anecdote. Look at some dramatic issues. For example, we had Jallianwala Bagh. In Jallianwala Bagh, massacre is being done, and the British general or colonel, whatever, Dyer, tells Indian Nepalese soldiers, kill.
Yeah.
They kill Indian women, children and men and all.
True.
I think, why did this soldier not think? If I was a thinking soldier, first thing he would have done is kill that. He had a bullet in his school, he could have killed the Dyer, the guy. Why he didn't do? He killed all these women, but he had not killed the general. He was there next to him.
Yeah.
So what is it? Even if you look at Holocaust, how Jews, lot of atrocities in the world has done.
Yes.
And even if your reality is few British people from a small island came and ruled over us because we were told not to think. We were told just obey the white man. So what is it through stories and what is it making us train not to think? How can we change this? Because today if India has to become a leader in research, leader in intellectual capacity, we have brains, we have capacity. You look at, we run Microsoft, Google, Adobe, major IBM, all companies in the world, in the US we run. Doctors are famous doctors abroad, all of them. Why in India we are not able to showcase that? What is choking us to show who we are? Is it the colonization, neo-colonization, or is it something in the system which is preventing? What do you think? Because you are a master storyteller. You observe people. You get information by observing what they talk. It's philosophy. You are a philosopher. You understand. So what is your philosophical thought on this?
Very interesting. So sometimes I used to look at the elephant. It is so huge. It's so heavy. It can, that mahout is there. 1 minute it can just.
Yes.
But you see, and they say it has a good memory.
Yes. We all say
Sometimes
elephant's
there
memory.
is no answer, isn't it? Why that elephant is not being
trained
a
not
slave,
to think.
trained not to think, or rather not to act. Same thing with the elements. If you look at fire, fire can burn a man in no time, but it has become a slave. Today, if we are cooking, the main ingredient that we need is fire. It has become our slave. So you look at that, this is in nature. The other thing you said about colonization. So there was a famous Bharatiyar who said, Endru thaniyum inda adimayin moham. The desire for slavery. It is not slavery. It is the desire for slavery that has to be. We want to be slaves.
Amazing.
Because our security lies, and this is the same with women. See, our security lies in being exploited.
Subservient.
In subservient. This has become part of our self. I don't think we need to change it, but we don't need to. Thinking individuals can happen in both sexes. Today we don't have visionaries, we have only idealists. And with the technological world, everyone thinks, I am the Christ, I am the Buddha. No. Everyone, it's all becoming fragments, right? So we are all becoming very fragmented individuals because society, the Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmam. So the effect of Brahman, if you look at the early evolution, more trees, how many houses were there?
Yes.
More oxygen. People didn't think too much because survival only was the main thing. Early man, if you look, whole day he roamed, he killed, he ate, he slept.
Nomads,
Yeah, that time you don't need so much thinking also because my pet ka sawal hai. Yeah. When he settled only, he started thinking. What was the first thought? To grab the land, to grab a woman. This is the problem. This is the problem, and the first desire is. So the root of desire itself is, when you look at the name, is to get and not to give. So every technological development, is becoming more slaveries, more conditioning of feeling insecure. We all go herd mentality, no, today. Once somebody says this guru is there, he will give you something.
Follow.
You see what queue is there?
Even a temple.
The white man will come and immediately we feel something shifts in us. And we think that man is great. We still have it.
Even though we are far intelligent.
We are far more intelligent, we know, but we have been conditioned to say
trained,
just like elephant. So we carry a little bit of the DNA of elephant. We carry
trained like elephant.
Absolutely.
Obey the orders.
Obey the orders. There's but to do and die. There's not to question why.
Great question, why?
There's but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. So we have that poem also.
Yes, yes.
Cannons to the right of them, cannons to the left of them. Cannons behind them volleyed and thundered. You talked about Jallianwala, no?
Yeah.
And they were asked to go through that valley. Stormed at with shot and shell, well, horse and hero fell. Yes. Into that valley of death rode the 600 soldiers.
Correct. Knowing
that they are going to die. So why do we walk into the jaws of death? I can understand the Jews because there was no choice. They were
No,
they
but the
didn't
Jews-
tell, no, they were so clever. Hitler was very clever. He didn't even tell them where they are going to be led. They were caught unawares, and within no time they were. How much he has drawn. I went to the Nuremberg museum to understand the story behind the psychology of Hitler. And there I saw maps and detailed drawing how he has calculated every move. And I was thinking, this intelligent man, if he had only used it for enhancing mankind than destroying mankind, how better the world would have been. You know, this is what we need to question, that why is man using, it is a violent mind, not even the violent thought. It is a violent mind. Through that map, all the SS soldiers were hypnotized and they killed millions of Jews. Just because you don't like a race. Look at that. So feudalism, there's a lot of ahankar now.
Ahankar.
So we are having 10 times more the Ravana's thought. More Hiranyakashpus today.
Absolutely.
That time only one Hiranyakashpu. God also could take avatars and come and destroy one. Now he doesn't know, he is hiding somewhere because he is also confused. Whom to come and destroy, whom to what to destroy.
What to
destroy. It's also this. That's why Kali Yugam is going to be a big thing. That pralayam, they say.
You know, sometimes when we think, there are simple solutions to complexities. But we don't want simple solutions. When you look at today's war, you know, whether, for example, I was writing somewhere, if you tell this Iran war, whatever it is, if you look at it really, if they are given protection against somebody else attacking nuclearly, Iran might say, no need for me.
Correct.
But nobody is offering them protection.
True.
Simple. And the war is going on. Thousands of people died. Gaza, what happened? So many people died. Children lost their legs, families.
Exactly.
You know, these kind of tragedies, we have developed tolerance. Why have we developed this tolerance? Why there is, even in India today, so many things go wrong, but we are very peaceful now. Is it because we have become of the affluent section, the middle class and all? Are we more self-centered today than ever before?
Absolutely. We have built so many walls, very cool air-conditioned walls around us. You know, so myself stands out first. I am the 70 mm picture today. I matter. So absolutely no sensitivity to anything. If you ask a little child today, they will tell me in a classroom, I remember, don't talk to that lady, I mean, be careful because she is very sensitive. I think it's not sensitivity, you are not sensible. Nowadays, we are not sensible. It has nothing to do with sensitivity.
And one of the articles, we people write, when we look at philanthropy, we find US philanthropy is quite high by some standards.
Yeah.
You know, people have donated billions of dollars of their wealth into philanthropy, and half of it complete, billions of dollars. But in India, it is not happened. We spend for temples, religions and all, but we don't have philanthropy for others. Can we share?
Yeah,
when
humanitarian.
The disparity in India is the widest. Once I asked, I won't name anyone, very rich person, billionaire, asked him, do you know with the wealth like what you have, you can spend $10 million a day and still not touch the surface of the well. He just raised his hand, said, so what? So, why is it we have a craving for hoarding money, more and more wealth? Huh? Even when we are in their 70s, 80s, still we want to. That giving is, why, but among all the countries, I would have thought India would be the first one to give. Dharma, Dana, we talk about Danashura, everything, but why is it lacking? Why is that greed factor so entrenched in us?
I think they say, Anjila valayadu, Ambadla valayadu, which means what cannot be developed when you are 5 years old cannot suddenly become be developed at 50. So the same conditioning, like the hoarding started because we had to hide from the bombing.
Is it insecurity?
Definitely insecurity. Definitely insecurity. With insecurity comes inferiority complex. And with inferiority complex comes hoarding. Why I don't want to give up. Today you see so many senior citizens, 80, 90. One lady died last week, one of my friend's relatives. All the diamond, all the jewels around her. Because she doesn't want that kind of insecurity. So we have a lot of complexes in society today. If we have, as I said, too many complexes. But it shouldn't stop you from what you want to do. See, the thing is, you do in your limited capacity what you have set out to do at least. So, as I said, you can't change the world. And maybe in your lifetime you won't see that, no, but a little bit. No, I'm saying all the problems. But in our limited capacity, whatever you're doing, the main thing is also there is an expectation. Whatever I want to do, this is another problem with us, is that I want, Dayanand Saraswati told in one of the lectures that tube light was not burning. So he said, why the tube light is not burning is, in that tube light, donated by 35 people for that one tube light. That tube light finally is not burning at all. So, we want to be recognized for the little bit also that we are giving. Why? Even that is a conditioning. Why can't I live something why can't I live without an expectation? Why is it, especially when I give, that I want to be recognized?
I think to me, as we conclude this, I want to hear final word on this statement I'm going to make. I think if we bring good storytelling, our phenomenal mythology, non-mythology, at a children level, schools, higher, and develop the next generation, I think we can have hope for a social structural change for this country, where ethics, truthfulness, transparency, everything comes. I hope in future with your storytelling, amazing talent you have, Geeta, I think we can bring out your international school, everything can create, people not only in urban, we should also do in rural areas, so that it can have a ripple effect to bring about a change in the thinking of the next generation at least. And particularly focus on girls, women. I hope that. So any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think that's how I started Kathalaya 27 years ago, and I didn't have money. So you see, money was not the main thing. My last salary in my school, where I taught for 20 years, was 1,500 rupees.
Fantastic.
But the thought of I must do this was very strong. I think like what Buddha felt. I'm not comparing to him. But I said, I want to start. I didn't want to ask my husband also, because he was quite a miserly person. He won't give my... So I said, no, I won't ask my husband. 2 teachers, again, they were very poor.
Amazing.
1,500, 4,500 we had. We put 5,000 rupees. One very fine gentleman came forward and said, Geeta, start it as a trust. I said, oh, I see. So I just listened to him because he was quite a fine person. He said, if you start it as a trust, you will get recognition. You can get some funds because you don't have any money. I was not sure at that time whether it's going to go forward. But main thing I started was that storytelling is an answer to be fed into children from when they are young. That is how we started. We took 5 centers, 5 schools, but it has grown. It has grown into for the last 27. So I'm very happy, because as long as the going is good, I also continue.
Correct.
So then things poured in, because anything done with a sincere heart,
correct,
will have results, will give. Plus, I believe in written scripts. So I thought, maybe I was meant to. I had to explain to so many people. They said, what is storytelling? So in schools, they will say, our teachers are telling stories. What new you are going to do? So many things, right? So I had to fight a lot of battles to go on saying, no, I am a storyteller. Just like, so now 27 years, I don't know how much impact it has done, but I know that I've trained more than 1 lakh people in
sure
the
it
art of
has done a great
storytelling,
impact.
and it has created a little bit of ripples that I would say in the world.
Great.
And that is something I'm grateful to God. So I use his stories. So I'll say, God, please, I'm using your stories only for all this.
No, amazing interaction, and I really thank you, Geeta,
Thank
for
you for
having
the
come.
questions.
And we learnt a lot, and you're an amazing person.
Thank
I'm
you so
sure
much.
your laugh, smile, your storytelling will always remain with us, and we look forward to more interactions. Thank you very
Definitely.
much. Thanks a lot for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajay. It was wonderful. It was great. Atmartham.